Hi, this is Indraneel and you are watching Business Bites in our channel The Spotlight, India's first online business news channel. In today's Business Bites, first news we have, after Elon Musk owned Starlink, now Jeff Bezos-led Amazon's Project Kuiper accelerated their process to launch in India. Second news we have, Biocon to raise 4,500 crore via QIP to increase their stake in Biocon Biologics. Third news we have, vaccines and key medicines will come with a barcodes or QR codes on their labels to track movements. Fourth news we have, Groww settled their regulatory lapses on stockbrokers' rules and other norms by paying 47.85 lakh rupees. And fifth news we have, Axis Max Life Insurance is looking for the right time to launch their IPO directly. In first news, after Elon Musk owned Starlink, now Jeff Bezos-led Amazon's Project Kuiper accelerated their process to launch satellite broadband services in India. Like Starlink, Amazon-backed Kuiper is planning to have their massive SATCOM, that is satellite broadband services capacity in India with 10 gateways and 2 points of presence, one in Mumbai and another one in Chennai. India is a lucrative satellite internet market where Elon Musk-owned Starlink has approached the Department of Telecommunications for a speedy approval of their application, which is almost in the verge to get, as they agreed to fulfill all the regulatory and government obligations, and once done, they will be the first to launch SATCOM services in India along with their local partners Airtel, Eutelsat OneWeb and Jio SES. On that context, Bharti-backed Eutelsat OneWeb and Reliance Jio SES joint venture have already got Global Mobile Personal Communications by Satellite, that is GMPCS permit, as well as clearance from the Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization, that is IN-SPACE. Amazon Kuiper, to be in the race to launch their services in India, approached the Department of Telecommunications recently by requesting to expedite issuance of a letter of intent, that is LOI, for a SATCOM GMPCS permit, while the Department of Telecommunications last week issued an LOI to one of their competitor, Starlink. In second news, Biocon to raise 4,500 crore via QIP to increase their stake in Biocon Biologics. India's biotech flagship company Biocon's profitability was reduced drastically because of their structured venture debts, and because of that, the company is planning to raise 4,500 crore via QIP, that is qualified institutional placement, to increase the promoter stake in Biocon's subsidiary Biocon Biologics. QIP is a method which is used by listed companies to raise capital by issuing securities to qualified institutional buyers, as it is a faster and often cheaper alternative to traditional initial public offerings, that is IPO. Biocon Biologics acquired Viatris Global Biosimilars business in 2022 for $3.3 billion, and the company is making efforts to reduce their total acquisition-related debt of around $1.2 billion, where Biocon operates their biosimilars business through Biocon Biologics Limited. When Biocon, which was earlier looking for a listing their biologics business, is now considering option to merge with the parent company because of the volatile market condition for an IPO. Biocon Biologics is aiming to be the number 3 biosimilars company in the world in the next 5 years, where Biocon has a portfolio of 20 biosimilars, out of which 10 are approved and 9 have been commercialized globally, of which 5 were launched in the US, while the company is also having a strong lineups for the next 12 to 18 months. Biocon has reported 344 crore as net profit for the March quarter end, which was grown by 153%, while their consolidated revenue was 4,454 crore, which is also up by 2% over last year. In March quarter, Biocon Biologics delivered 9% year-on-year revenue growth, which was driven by significant market share gains in the US and key tender wins in the emerging markets. where on a full year basis the company posted 15% growth in financial year 2025, when they are ready to launch 5 new products in the next 12 to 18 months, and they are also expanding their patient access. While biosimilars continue to build shares in global markets with 4 biosimilars which recorded sales of $200 million each. In third news, vaccines and key medicines will come with a barcodes or QR codes on their labels to track movements. As per new guideline from the Drug Controller General of India, vaccines, antimicrobials, narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances and additional cancer drugs would have to mandatorily print or affix barcodes or quick response, that is QR codes, on their labels to bring them under Schedule H2 of drug rules to track their movements, when the government is also considering inclusion of details of excipients on every medicine strip for 300 drug formulations which are under Schedule H2, where an excipient is a constituent of a medicine other than the active substances which is added in the formulation for a specific purpose, while most excipients are considered inactive when some can have a known action or effect in certain circumstances. Currently, the label declares only those active substances added in the formulation. Earlier, the Drug Regulatory Authority had included a few cancer drugs to help validate the authenticity of medicines following incidents of refilling of expensive anti-cancer drugs with counterfeit drugs, when it came to light that criminals with hospital pharmacies were found refilling empty vials of expensive anti-cancer medicines with counterfeit drugs. These fake drugs were then mixed with genuine stock and sold to unsuspecting cancer patients and putting their lives at risk. To counter these disastrous activities, the regulator had made it mandatory for companies to have a barcode on the top 300 brands so that information such as manufacturing license and batch number can be accessed upon scanning, when these drugs included widely used analgesics, pain relievers, antiplatelets, vitamin supplements, blood sugar lowering medicines, and contraceptive tablets. In fourth news, Groww settled their regulatory lapses on stockbrokers' rules and other norms by paying 47.85 lakh rupees. Groww Investec, which is the parent company for the stockbroking platform Groww, settled a case pertaining to the alleged violation of stockbrokers' rules and other norms after the online investing platform paid 47.85 lakh towards settlement amount. The order came after the broking company filed an application with SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, without admitting or denying the facts and conclusion of law through a settlement order. In view of the acceptance of the settlement terms, the adjudication proceedings initiated against applicant. The case stemmed from a comprehensive inspection of Groww Investec, which was formerly Next Billion Technology Private Limited. SEBI alleged that Groww had violated multiple provisions of the Securities Contracts Regulation, several SEBI circulars, and stockbroker regulations. Among these lapses cited, the regulator observed that the applicant Groww Investec had sent retention statement containing incorrect information to clients, and also there were discrepancy in financial ledger balance and margin obligation in 38 instances. When Groww is planning to launch their IPO soon, and in that context, it was very essential for the company to be clean, and for that matter of fact, maybe they are taking every step cautiously. And in fifth news, Axis Max Life Insurance is looking for the right time to launch their IPO directly. Axis Max Life Insurance is planning to list their stock directly as soon as federal lawmakers pass their relevant amendment bill, when all stakeholders, regulators, shareholders, promoters, and management are aligned with. Axis Max Life, currently owned jointly by Axis Bank and Max Financial Services, operates under a quasi-listed structure where the parent companies are publicly traded but the insurance business is not directly listed, when according to the company this structure is suboptimal, and that collapsing it into a single listed entity which would create better visibility and investor confidence. The move comes amid a regulatory push to bring more insurers to the public markets to improve governance and deepen investor participation. The Insurance Law Amendment Bill, once approved, is expected to ease listing norms for companies like Axis Max Life. The company reported a 20% increase in total new business compared with 15% for the private life insurance sector in the financial year 2025, when they delivered 18% compound annual growth over the past 2 years, which is doubled of the industry average. Axis Max Life Insurance proprietary distribution channel grew by 30% in the last fiscal year, while their bank-led channels expanded 13%. Currently, the market share of the company in the private life insurance space stands at 9.8%, where Axis Bank entities, which own close to 19.99% in the insurance company, have seen the contribution to the business income fall to 10 to 11%, what they are expecting to raise at 14 to 15%. So these were the top 5 business news from Business Bytes in our channel, The Spotlight, India's first online business news channel. I would like to request you to please subscribe this channel so that you can have all the updates from our end. Thank you very much for watching Business Bytes and signing it off.